Hi there, welcome to Energetic Playground of Possibilities, and today's exercise is actually inspired by a topic this week that I spoke about on my Beyond Domestic Violence podcast, which will be up sometime soon. And it's about self-care. And, one of the things that we can gift to ourselves is caring for ourselves. And one of the ways we can do that is to declutter. So when you have trauma, you can shove into a room in your house, for example, all those feelings that you don't want to feel, or all those fears, or especially, for example, with trauma, it can be shame, embarrassment, invasive thoughts, all sorts of things you can shove in there. And you can also shove in there your greatness, your brilliance, your gifts, talents, and capacities, because who am I to let them out, right? And, what I've found is the things that we're most embarrassed about or shameful about or have made wrong about ourselves is actually a gift that if we let it out and didn't keep it in the shadows, would not only change your life, but invite others to choose something greater for themselves. However, we're taught to lock it away. And so this exercise is actually about opening that spare room in your home that you have kept locked because there's shame there, or doubt there, or embarrassment, and also your gifts, talents, and abilities. Now, I do wish to say, as a kindness to your sweet body, now might not be the time for this exercise. Maybe you don't want to open that door, whether it's to see that which you have made so wrong about yourself. And as I've said, it's an interesting thing when you look at an energy from a space of no judgment, a space of kindness and caring. What you'll find is that big bad energy, that evil energy, that horrible energy, that terrible energy that you are, or have judged yourself to be, or have bought the lie that others have judged it of you, melts, transforms into something greater. And it's a beautiful thing the day that you look at that energy and you really get it wasn't true. Or you really see the energy transform into something totally opposite to what you thought. The wounds to wisdom, where you look at it and go, oh my goodness, I had no idea about that in relation to me. So this is about your relationship to that room, as in how you relate to it and the space between you and it. And some of you might have the door open a little bit. Some of you might be willing to know that room exists. And some of you might be ready to just wedge it open a little bit more. And some of you might be ready to go, you know what? I'm going to do this. It's time. It's time for me to take some action and open that door and be willing to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And not from a place of judgment, but from a place and space of just total caring. As if you would look at your best friend's cupboard that they don't want to look into, right? So firstly, just ask yourself, is now the time to do this exercise? And if it's not, that's okay. And what I would say, if it's not safe for you, you don't feel you want to go there, I would ask, is it something that you could look at energetically, just knowing that room's there? To put your attention to the room, even though it's sealed up, for example, just be aware of the room. Because the beautiful thing is when you are willing to be even aware of a space, you've already touched it. And it's already contributing to you. It's already touching you back. And so that's courageous in itself for you to recognize, yeah, you know what? There is this place where I've shoved down all the things I'm scared about, or I'm judging myself for, or all my gifts, talents, and abilities because I don't want to step up or stand out, or whatever you've chosen that for. That's brave. Just you acknowledging that. And for those who desire to keep going, we'll get into the exercise. So the first thing I would love you to do is just expand out and choose a space that you love. And what I mean by that is a place and space energetically that you just feel good, you feel safe, you feel secure and supported. And it might be, think of an animal that you love or a particular person that you know has your back and doesn't judge you and, is that space of kindness. Or it might be a particular place you love. And just allow your heart and your awareness to just be in that space that's safe and secure and supported. And with that space, just expand it out. And as you expand out, just be aware of the expansion and how much more space there is as you expand out more and more. And there's more and more space. And so more and more molecules are vibrating at that space that you love, where you feel safe, secure, and supported. And now you can choose to stay just with this space that you be. However, there may be another space that's possible. And if you went there just then when I said it, did it feel good? Was there a lightness? And as I said, when I said that, if you went somewhere, that also means that it touched you. So you're already in communion with that space. So if you're willing, merge with it. Expand out and merge with that space. Allow it to play and dance around you. Consciousness has a kindness and a sweetness that changes worlds, changes bodies. So keep expanding. And just being aware of that beautiful energy that you had at the start of this, and be aware how it's merging with the molecules. And now what I would love you to do is, from this safe place and space, just become aware of that room or that space where you've hidden things, hidden your gifts, your talents, your abilities. And in there might even be things that you've created to put a safe distance between you and that which you know is possible, or a safe distance between you and your ability to contribute dynamically and brilliantly to the world. In there may also be all your trauma that you maybe didn't want to acknowledge. Might be judgments of you that you have of yourself for things you've done or not done. There might be judgments in there that other people have perpetrated on you. Maybe it's filled with resistance and reaction energies or force. It also might be your capacities to have healthy boundaries are locked away in there. What could be in there maybe is a whole lot of beauty and kindness and deliciousness that you are, that you're hiding. So it's a mixture. It's a mixture of all that you've deemed wrong and bad and horrible about you. And also in there could be energies of you that are so beautiful, are spectacularly brilliant. Energies in there that can transform universes. So just as you perceive, see, look at that space of where that room is, or that place where you've shoved everything. You know, the energy might be behind you or in front of you. It doesn't matter. You know where it is. And if it helps to see it as a house and a room in your house, you know, visualize that then. But you can feel it. You know where it is. And as you're looking at it, you may perceive the energies as a feeling or a sense. Like, oh yeah, there's some energies in there that are really beautiful, and there's some stuff there that, oh, I don't feel good looking at that or being willing to open that door. And the beautiful thing is, because we are in the energetic playground of possibilities where there is no judgment and there's just this curiosity, oh, I wonder what's in there. That's who's opening the door, that space. Even my dog, you can hear her moaning. Oh, why do we do this to ourselves? She's saying, why can't we just open the door and play with in there and just do whatever we want? We can just pull it out. Because we tend to make, you know, the wrongness of us so heavy and so significant and so wrong and so dense. And of course, the minute you do that, it becomes like cement. And then you think, oh, I've got to look at this and I've got to deal with it. And what if that's not true? It's just energy. So let's get back that energy of curiosity. And if it's light for you to open the door, or if it's already partially open it even more, or maybe swing the whole thing open, right? Or maybe just like realize there's no door and no walls and it's just this pack of energy, and let's see what's here. And what if that was the kindest thing you could do for you and your body and also the world, right? So with that curiosity, because you can't have judgment and curiosity. Curiosity is like, oh, what's that? And so when curiosity and kindness kind of come together, there's this space of like, oh, what is this? And there's no wrongness and no judgment, just this kindness. Oh, what's here? And then when you look at and become aware of when you open that door to whatever, you know, degree you want to open it to, or totally, you know, as I say, get rid of the walls and doors altogether and look at every single molecule there, you'll know there's no right or wrong. You'll look at what you can look at when you look at it. It's not like winning if you open the whole door or you get rid of the, you know, that's not what I'm saying. You'll know. From that curiosity, you'll know. Oh, I'm curious about opening the door this much, or I'm curious about it all going. You'll know. And so now we're opening the door from that curious space. And as you open it, you may just see some stuff sparkle, light up. You also might be aware of something that's maybe hiding or slithering, or, you know, and what if you had no point of view about it? You didn't make it scary. You're like, oh, these are two different energies. There's lots of different energies here. And if it's something that's fun and safe for you right now, just perceive all of it. The good, the bad, and the ugly that you can see. the sparkles of possibility, the sweetness or your capacities, magic, whatever. And then all your doubts and fears and cement pieces that you've made so real and true and wrong about you. And as you're looking, what I would love is expand your vision so you're really looking far away and you can see that little space or that little room. It's tiny now. It's become quite tiny. And then there's this beautiful space of consciousness that we were in, right? So ask all those molecules. There's so much space around that tiny little room now. And that space also has molecules that are conscious. And they are the best things ever. It's like they are just so willing to contribute to you and assist you. And so what if it wasn't just you opening that door and looking at all your brilliance and looking at all your worries? What if you asked every single molecule as an eyeball of consciousness to also look in that room that you didn't want anyone to see? Because you see, consciousness, when it looks, it doesn't judge. It's like, oh, hi, I can see those energies in the room. I see it. What do you want to do about it? And, it doesn't even have that. It's just like, it just looks at it. It just observes it. And, well, more than observes, it actually perceives it. And it perceives it from a space of total choice and total space and total kindness, total caring. And in that moment, every single eyeball of consciousness, every single molecule is there for you. And together, let's look at this. And the beauty of looking at it is you can't help but acknowledge what you see to the level of what you see it, of course, or being willing to. So you could just stop there and just be in that place of, okay, I'm aware of the room and I'm aware of the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then there's the other element where there's elements, elements of consciousness. And there's something so magical about engaging the elements and engaging consciousness to contribute to that which you wish to change. And so if it's true for you in your heart that you're ready to transform this room, because wouldn't it be nice to have the room available for something different, something totally different, something with no reference point, instead of having to work with the gifts, talents, and abilities that are in that room only, and the good, the bad stuff, the wrong stuff only. What if we shine the light of true consciousness, total consciousness on it, and it will melt all that you think you are, or worry that you're not, or worry that you are. And you go from the constructs of these are my gifts, talents, and abilities, and this is what's wrong, right and wrong about me, to being a space and total communion with consciousness. So that can happen instantaneously. It can be a journey. It's okay, whatever. I'm just inviting you to know that what you think is in that cupboard and what is actually possible for you are way different things, potentially, right? But what we tend to do is make that cupboard so significant. These are my capacities and these are my gifts and I don't want to be them because this is going to happen and this is what's terrible at me and this is my judgeable offense or offenses that I don't want anyone to see or know. And we just put so much energy and it's exhausting. Just like when you have trauma, self-care in itself is exhausting for people who have trauma. because they're dealing with that room. And even if they're not opening that door, they know it's there. And what I'm saying is it now the time, is it time for you to be houseless, be brave enough to be that space, but without being the bricks and the mortar that you have, created as you in this world. And that's, a whole level, totally different level of space and totally different way to be. And it's not hard work. And there's a joy and there's gratitude and there's a beauty that's most likely beyond your cognition right now, for some of you anyway. When I died in the car accident and I was one with everything, I can't even begin to tell you how beautiful the colours and the space was. And, you're absolutely beautiful. If you choose to just, stay in that house with that one room locked away or partially opened or, fully opened or whatever, that's beautiful. I'm not making that wrong. I'm just saying that there is a presence available for you that's beyond any of those constructs. And even if they're beautiful constructs, there's something even greater. There's a space that's possible, that's pure magic. So if you're willing, you can ask all those elements and all those molecules of consciousness to commune with you. And before I go, what I would love you to do is ask for energy to flow to you. Now, it might feel lighter for the energy to flow to you from all directions, above, below, in front, behind. It might feel lighter for the energy to flow from the future to you or the past to you. Don't overthink it too much. Just ask for the energies that can contribute to your life and living to flow to you. And if you're willing, ask for those energies to flow into that room, to transform it. And at some point during this podcast, I asked you to tune into that energy, and some of you went there. So if you're willing, wherever that was, ask for it to flow to that room and to you. Remember, everything's energy. And you don't have a quota of energy available to you. You have the whole universe and universes available to you. And maybe now's the time to just realize how great you are and how brilliant you are and what a contribution you can be if you were willing to open that room, be with those energies, and expand into a space that's greater that you know is possible. So have fun this week, and truly, what else is possible for you and your body? And I am so grateful that you were willing to look at that room and be present with everything that you've locked away in there. Because that's brave and it's life-changing. And I adore you for that. So keep being aware of that room, keep being aware of, or if you're one of the people who have already gone, space, that's it. Room, what room? That's cool too. However it's happened for you, it's there's no right or wrong way. I just really desired you to get present with the beauty of you and the possibilities for you. And again, I ask even greater, what else is possible? Space doesn't have an end to it. There's something magical with space that it just keeps creating and creating and creating and creating and expanding. And if you are feeling alone, please know that every single molecule of consciousness is there for you. You just have to ask and be willing to receive. However, it starts with you having care for yourself, self-care. And that if you dare to open that room, can be the biggest gift you can give to me and to everybody. You know, feel the fear and do it anyway. And it's okay if you can't. It's okay. However, when you're ready to be beyond that, I am celebrating all of that. Your bravery and courageousness and willingness to dive in and create a reality beyond any reference points. And when I say create a reality, it's not even really that's not correct. It's be in that space where everything's possible. And you engage with the whispers, you engage with consciousness, and there's a beautiful magic that's possible where things beyond anything, any reference point you have, get created with ease. All right, well, have a beautiful rest of the week and happy spring cleaning. What else is possible for that room and who you are? And what if all the things that you thought were terrible was actually one of the most beautiful, empowering, generating, creative energies that you've been hiding away under the guise of wrongness? What if you're far more delicious and powerful and beautiful than you could possibly imagine? All right, well, have a great week and I'll catch you next week. Take care. Bye.